Hiya, welcome to LSB Feaster's radio channel and travel corner. What we do here is we keep great radio from the past alive, and today, it's a radio legend. We're talking about the one and only Gary Owens, who spent a lifetime on the radio in Southern California. You may remember him from his Laugh-In days back in the late 60s. This air check is kind of special. This features him when he was doing his show for our Armed Forces Radio and Television Saigon. The name of the show was Gary Owens, the Music Guy. And on this show, he played middle-of-the-road music while doing some of his classic bits and materials, just trying to make the soldiers feel a little piece of home as they were serving during the Vietnam War. I actually found this show in a lot of reel-to-reel tapes that I bought years ago. Most of it was junk, and then I found about 4 reels of this show. So I'll give you some of it now, and if you really like it, you want to hear more, let me know in the comments below, and I'll post more. If you like what you hear, give it a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe to the channel, and make sure you smack that bell. When you do, you'll be notified whenever we post anything new. So let's go back to 1967, AFRTS Saigon, and Gary Owens and the Music Guy Show.
Andy Williams in a great recording of Emily. This is G.O., friend of those who want no friends, as we place a little sound next to your ear. We've had many requests for this, namely my theme song. It's called Frog March by Ted Heath. This was recorded back about 1958 or 57. It's no longer available, so we thought we'd play as much of it as possible. So, get your frogs ready now, and here we go! This is the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service. Well, let's take a peek at the old clock on the wall, shall we? Well, I can see by that it's time to have the old clock on the wall fixed, mainly because 2 of the hands are bent over here. Let me straighten them out. Hi, and welcome to the Music Guy Show with G.O. This is Gary Owens, and we'll be around for a spell. Today on the program, you'll be hearing such names as Pert Babette Kloszewski, Marigold Copernicus, Sophia La Dolce Vita, Emile Fern, Earl C. Festoon, Bathsheba Minoso, Larson E. Whipsnade, Earl C. Festoon, and scads of others, perhaps lesser known, but great talents just the same. Here's one. Well, yoicks and verily. As we say seldom, Jack Ross and his magic horn and the Limehouse Blues. Hello again, and welcome to the Music Guy Show. And this is Gary Owens, friend of those who want no friends. A laconic Return the Paper Plates episode upcoming, and a few interesting surprises. Looking over my trivia file here again today. Let's see what we get. Oh, North Dakota is the state that gets the most below zero weather. Did you realize that? Have you ever been to North Dakota? Do you ever plan on being in North Dakota? Benjamin Franklin never patented any of his inventions. Really? I thought he patented the eyeglasses, the bifocals and the trifocals. Is that a fact? Well, only 3 U.S. cities were planned as capitals: Raleigh, North Carolina, Indianapolis, and Washington, D.C. And here's a fact that you probably have all been waiting for. Saccharin is 550 times sweeter than sugar. However, ants won't eat it. I had 2 of them over at my house just today, and they wouldn't at all. Bulls are colorblind. The jelly bean contains 8 calories. In Ohio, women may not be employed as meter readers. A friend of mine, Don French, and I used to do a serial in San Antonio, Texas called The Adventures of Peter Lemmeter, the Water Meter Reader. And we don't remember what happened to it, or us, as far as that goes. And the average American takes 17 breaths a minute. So there you go. Little thing for your trivia notebook today from the Music Guy program. This is Alan Copland and the Alan Copland Swingers, Count Basie in the orchestra, and Old Lady Be Good.
Hey girl, I'm alone in the city, hey girl. And you sure look pretty, hey girl. Well, I wish you would be good to me.
Alan Copland and the Alan Copland Singers, of all people, and Count Basie in the orchestra. Well, this is the Music Guy Show with G.O. A profound statement was once given concerning our nation. What I believe America should exalt above everything else is the sovereignty of thoughtfulness and sympathy and vision. as against the grosser impulses of mankind. No nation can live without vision, and no vision will exalt a nation except the vision of real liberty and real justice and purity of conduct. Every citizen of the United States has a responsibility to be, through his actions, an ambassador of his country. He should conduct himself with this responsibility constantly in mind, for it is through personal contact that the most lasting impression is formed for the people of other nations, something you should remember. Here's something that you should hear in just a moment. I'm going to hold the album cover up so you can see what it is. See that? Matt Monroe, and When Sunny Gets Blue, and you'll hear it in just a shake or two.
Now, another page from the Crime Stopper's notebook.
Today, we will discuss precautions to take to keep your car from being stolen. Keep your keys with you. Roll up all the windows and make sure that all doors are locked. If you follow this procedure, it is very unlikely that anyone will steal your car. This is true mainly because you will still be sitting in it. We've got Tony Hatch in his recording of Sunny upcoming a little bit later. Well, stand by, because not too many minutes from now, Return the Paper Plates returns. Grace told me the last time she was in New York, she found out the best way to solve the parking problem there is to simply buy cheap cars and leave them.
Our hidden microphone takes you to the office of a vanishing breed, the general practitioner. Now, what seems to be the trouble?
Well, you know how susceptible I am to the flu, Doc.
Yes?
Or could you give me a shot?
All right.
Thanks, Doc.
Let's take a peek back into Memoriesville, as they seldom say in radio. 1855 is the year we're going to peek at today. Some of the big tunes at that time. Some of you old-timers may remember these. Come Where My Love Lies Dreaming. Hark the Herald Angels Sing. Melody in F was a piano solo by Anton Rubinstein. The Sword of Bunker Hill was a big tune in 1855. And Twinkling Stars Are Laughing, Love. Another one that everyone was humming in those days. The expression almighty dollar was coined by Washington Irving. Where are you from? Let's see, what was the question man that Steve Allen used to do? Are you from Seattle, Saul? And then the question, that was the question. The answer was Washington Irving, but I've confused it somehow. Anyway, he did that in his book of stories and sketches called Wolfert's Roost and Miscellanies. I like the first one better. Western Union Telegraph Company was founded in that year. One of its directors was Ezra Cornell, later the founder of Cornell University, and after that, the founder of Ezra University. James Oliver of Indiana invented the Iron Plow in 1855. Shucks, I still have the same old iron one that I've used for years. Dentistry made new strides when the American Charles Goodyear, Jr. patented the process of making dental plates of hard rubber. Matter of fact, back in 1855, my great-great-grandfather, Fern Owens, used to have a fun time there. In case of a blowout, he used to tie a big-mouthed friend to the front wheel of his car, and it would work till he got to a filling station. Also in that year, the San Francisco Call Bulletin was founded as a daily newspaper, and the suspension bridge at Niagara Falls connecting the U.S. was completed. In 1855, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow published his narrative poem, The Song of Hiawatha. So it was a big year. Well, thank you, Jack. Jack Jones. And Somewhere My Love. Today, in the Gary Owens building, we're speaking with Mr. Harold Feen, Vice President of the Cornell Foundation of the United States. Mr. Feen, your group has done so much for the betterment of the world. Would you explain just how your organization functions?
No.
Thank you. We've been speaking with Mr. Harold Feen, Vice President of the Cornell Foundation of the U.S. Transcribed.
Midnight, one more night without sleeping. Watching till the morning comes creeping. Green door, what's that secret you're keeping? You know the piano and the playing hot behind the green door. Don't know what they do, but they laugh a lot behind the green door. We'll be standing in
what's that going on behind the green door? That's a group called the Swingin' Six. All 7 of them there. That old Jim Lowe favorite. Well, Gary has gone out to get a drink of water, and I'm taking over in the meantime as we switch again for the national test. And here's Walter Cronkbite. Come in, Walter.
Hi, this is Walter Cronkbite in Washington with part 241 of the National Driver's Test. Here's the question. If the car on the left is going north at 57 miles an hour, and the car on the right is going east at 49 miles an hour, which one is a convertible? A, the car on the left. B, the car on the right. C, all 3. D, the Chevy. Time's up. The answer is yes. Out of our sample group of 200 automobile dealers, 173 of them handled their own financing. Now, back to our studios.
Say, when you discuss our system of government, be sure of your facts. Now, here are just a few. The United States is a federal union of 50 states. The federal Constitution outlines the structure of the national government, its powers, and its activities. Other activities are the responsibility of the individual states, which have their own constitutions and laws. Be familiar with the facts of our nation. A good nation notion for you right there. Les McCann has a great sound. You'll hear that in just a jiffy on the Music Guy Show with G.O.
Hey, is it true blondes have more fun?
Yes, it is.
Good. Hand me the bleach.
10. Well, let me get set up here. There we are. How's that? Okay? Stand by as we present another laconic episode of Return the Paper Plates.
You remember last time, at the big Hollywood party, Julia told Carl that he needed a gimmick to make it big in Hollywood. Now, moments later, still at the party, Julia and Carl are deep in thought. It is Julia who speaks first.
Think, Carl. What is there about you that is different?
Nothing that I know of, Julia. I'm really very average.
But there must be something. Some physical characteristic that sets you apart from others.
Well, I don't have a nose.
Oh, Carl. Thousands of people don't have noses. And besides, you do have one.
I do? Well, I'll be darned.
Think, Carl.
How about dandruff? I have that.
Well, that's sort of unique, but not quite it.
Well, there is one thing.
What's that, Carl?
My mother always said that I have a very pretty right foot.
Really?
Yes.
Kids, gather round. Hey, what is it? Okay, quiet, everybody. All right, Carl. Take off your right shoe and sock.
All right.
Carl, this is it. From now on, you'll be known as the Foot.
Mother would have been so proud.
Well, what's going to happen next time? Don't fail to miss the next exciting episode when Carl's mother, via long-distance telephone from heaven, says,
I would have been so proud.
Well, I think it's almost theme time as we sneak along and pack up our troubles in this old kit bag that I have over here. There we are. Hand me the rest of those troubles. Thank you. There we are. Put these in here, and we're set for another show. This is music guy Gary Owens, hoping that things are going well with you. And remember, always be integrated.
This is the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.